Hey guys, welcome back here to another episode of Nothing But Powerstrokes. Today, this culprit is a 2006, and it's got, I think, about 80,000 miles on it. This customer just bought it used, pretty decent shape, and has also bought an extended service plan premium care. And he brought it in complaining of an oil leak, and the oil leak, unfortunately, is coming from the rocker box gaskets, which are going to require me to remove the head bolts, which if you do that, then you're going to have to replace the head gaskets. So I am going after this for an oil leak. Cab's coming up, and I'm going to give you guys a brief overview of all the quadrants. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4 underneath the vehicle, and I'm going to show you guys what I had disconnected and where they go, and give a little brief description of each thing. So here we go. Alright, here we go. Quadrant number 1 that I like to take care of first. First and foremost, you gotta recover the AC. While I got the AC going, I'm draining the coolant. So now I'm doing two things while I'm doing something else. Go ahead and rip out both your batteries. Battery gone. And you're gonna flop your cables up, get them out of the way. You got a 10 mil nut holding this to the passenger side positive cable. Go ahead and take that off. You got a coolant hose you're gonna have to take off right here. I go ahead and I snake that up there. Got a vacuum line that also goes to that, and I just kind of tuck that over here like so. You got a sensor that sits on these pegs here. I've gone and just laid that on the engine, and still have the hose connected to the intake manifold. Right here, this cable here that goes to the back of the engine is attached right there. There's a ground underneath the cowl right there. There's also a ground here that connects the negative cable, which is right here. This connects to the fender. You gotta head and remove your cac tube. That's going to the turbo. That's already off. What else did I disconnect over here? Everything that I've touched is here. Your AC lines that go through here. You're gonna remove the top one, and then right here on the inside, there's a clip here that holds these two lines together. Pop it open, and you're going to separate it, and you want the upper line right there, and the upper line. You're going to disconnect it from the accumulator. Same thing, there it is right there, just getting everything out of the way. Right next to the negative cable, right here in this little cluster, this kind of is the same when before you start tearing stuff apart. There is a vacuum line that you're going to need to disconnect and secure. It connects to right here, So I'm just go ahead and tuck this back in like so. And that's pretty much quadrant. Okay, quadrant 2. You're going to start, remember when you remove this battery, you're going to take this positive cable off that goes right here, and I kind of coil it. You can see it's coiled right on top of the engine. That's the driver's side positive cable. And you got to take these off to do that, so you can push the radiator forward a little bit to get the cable out. You can see there's the fastening or the locating twangs for that cable. Once you get that out of the way, now you can move the radiator all the way to the core support, and you can pull out the Powerstroke fan shroud, all as one assembly. Once that is out, I've started on quadrant 2 already. Get the air filter removed so you guys visualize. You got the air filter, big air filter here, get it out of here. Coolant bottle right here, get it out of here. It's got 2 lines. This is the coolant line that it tees into, and it sits like this. This hose from the heater core connects to that hose. Disconnect it. Push that into the fan. This one I simply just loop up and put right in where the degas bottle went. Next, so now that you got the air filter off, you can go ahead and remove your cold side CAC tube, black tube, 11 mil, and 4 8mm bolts that hold that aluminum elbow on. Just leave it connected. Trust me, take the elbow off, it'll make it way easier to put back on, because that plastic to go on the aluminum is a complete pain in the butt. So once that's out of your way, there's another battery, a plastic battery tray. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 13 mil bolts. Rip it out of here. Underneath that one, you'll see an aluminum tray. 1, 2, 3 fasteners, a little aluminum plate. Get that out of here. And then you got some connectors here. All these connectors, you see they're on like a little metal tray. Every one of those connectors needs to be disconnected. So you guys can just go ahead and rip all those connectors apart. I have already fed them through down underneath the steering shaft and have already got them laid on the engine. You can do that last, but I just want to keep rolling, get everything moved. After that plate is off, you can go ahead and take your 2 power steering lines off. I got one right here and the other one right here. So those are completely off. Go ahead and take this off the passenger stud of the master cylinder. Got 2 14 mil nuts holding that on. Got 3 10s holding the HCU on, and everything's attached to the frame. This is staying. Now everything is on the engine and so far is ready to come off. One little thing I want you guys to know, see this connector? Don't forget this connector right here. If you got fog lights, this is your fog light harness connector, and you'll rip it out. Make sure to disconnect that. 19 mil nuts holding your front body mounts on. I've already had and took this side off too, so pretty much the whole engine bay as it sits right now is ready to be removed. I got the bolt out of the steering shaft. Steering shaft's loose. Wow, see my paint mark from like probably 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. I did bed plates on this a long time ago. So I'm going to leave this connected. I still got to roll the vehicle back to do the interior, so if I need to turn the steering wheel or adjust the truck as it sits here on the hoist, then I still have a connected linkage to the steering. So, alright, we'll get another one up. Gonna dive into quadrant number 3. Is downstairs because I don't want to lift this thing up and down more than I have to. Do not forget this flap. It goes in right here. We need to take this off. Just let it hang there. You're going to disconnect your lower hose, the passenger side trans line, this connection right here. You're going to take this off, just let that hang. I've got everything capped off because I ain't taking a bath in this shit. Lower hose. You're going to come over here to the passenger side floor. You got a ground you got to take off. Both wheel speed sensors need to be disconnected. You're going to go for the trans, and you're going to depress this and this out of those holes. Pop this out, just let it hang. Usually there's a clip sitting here that I go like this to. What else did I do? I did put it in neutral so I can roll it. Come over here, you gotta take your e-brake out. The e-brake goes through here, and you gotta separate the Where's another one? Here it is. You gotta separate this. This is what you'll be looking for. You gotta, there's a little dimple right there that needs to be depressed down with like an air hammer bit, and then lube it up, bang it a couple times with a hammer, get it nice and loose, and then it'll push together into the middle and then slide out. And what else did I do down here? I think that's it. I didn't do anything on the driver's side. Just a mess from the power steering when I disconnected it from the pump when we were upstairs. I am thinking this is it. So just a few tidbits for the underneath portion of removing a cab on a 6.0. And now for the inside. Okay, last step, quadrant number 4. Let me show you guys what you got to do on the inside. If you got a quad cab, four full-size doors, back seat got to come out. You got a plastic bin that you'll have to take out behind the seat, the rear seat. Got bolt, nut, all 18 mil. Seat comes out. There's a rubber band around this, securing it to the seat. Let me just show you so you guys know what I'm exactly talking about. You need to pull the buckle out from the seat. Don't want to rip that. And then you got to pull the carpet forward. And what I've done was got the front seat belts, pulled them all the way. There's a couple holes in the carpet, and then I just buckle the seat belts so that my carpet stays up, so that I can get to body bolt number 3. Body bolt number 3. You can actually see the ground right there. And the front is kind of the same, except you just have to pull the feet up on both sides, the plastic sill plate, kick panel, and then rubber boot, then bolt. So that is everything you need to take off in order to pull a cab on a 6.0 or 7.3 for most part, or 6.4. So let's lift it up a little bit. Okay. Gonna go around and check everything as we lift it. You can see the gap between the turbo. Wish it was like that all the time. And for safety, guys, don't forget to get some ratchet straps and secure your cab to the hoist for safety. So tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section below, and if anybody's got to remove a cab for a 6.0 to do some engine work, this is how you do it. Alright, thanks guys.